We've come a long way since our doors first opened. Though our beginnings were modest, our vision was bold. With each passing decade, we grew. Times changed, and we adapted. We evolved, and we delivered. Market-driven programs that get our grads jobs. Seamless support services that wrap around our students. Sustainable practices that protect our earth. For the past 10 years, our mission ensured that the student experience came first at Durham College. But we've reached a tipping point. As we reflect on all we've accomplished and look closely at where we stand, it's clear. We're not just putting the student experience first, we're reinventing it. What's happening on our campuses, across our communities, and around the globe is a DC-grown and led transformation of the way we learn, the way we teach, the way we work, live, and lead. The many paths to post-secondary education merge and weave in so many new ways.
Durham Lords, starting line for Fanshawe, leading off the fielder number 1, Trevor Loback, batting second, third baseman number 13, Nolan Rice, batting third, the catcher number 23, Marcus Normandin, batting fourth, designated hitter number 33, Connor Rodwin, batting fifth, the right fielder number 3, Aiden Chu, batting sixth, center fielder number 24, Luke Allen, batting seventh, the first baseman number 9, Will Matrunsis, batting eighth, the shortstop number 7, Judd McGowan, and batting ninth, the second baseman number 11, Trent Lamb. Pitching for the Falcons, number 12, Holden Heipel. And now the starting lineup for your Durham Lords. Leading off, center fielder, number 4, Zach Rivers. Batting second, the right fielder, number 5, Ryan Mattis. Batting third, designated hitter, number 11, Evan Torres. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 15, Malik James. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 22, Eric Smith. Batting sixth, second baseman, number 24, Quentin Earl. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 18, Eddie Barutsky. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 7, Jacob Murphy. And hitting ninth and catching, number 1, Jonah Miranda. Pitching save for the Lords, number 14, Sam Mello. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we are proud to acknowledge the lands and people of the Mississaugas of the Scugog Island First Nations, which is covered under the Williams Treaties. Durham College is situated on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas, a branch of the Greater Anishinaabe Nation, which includes Algonquin, Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. We now ask that you please rise for the playing of O Canada.
Underway here at Kingsman Stadium. The match is finally here. As today they will host the Fanshawe Falcons. Here into NCAA baseball. You can look at today is Damon Youssef. I'm very excited to be here on this nice Saturday. It's good. It's 20 degrees out today. It's 20 degrees out today. It's going to be a really nice game today. I'm so happy that you've taken the time to watch this here today. The Fanshawe Falcons. This season. The season, I think that's the key to this. This inning, but since that's the as good. That's ICW. So, listen, I'm of season. See, see, to pitch. That one is in there, called strike three.
And that's a great pitch. Looks like it's going to go outside the zone and it just comes back in and gets him. 2 down.
That is Metis. First strikeout of the game and the season. First pitch, that is outside the ball. 1. Should have been their strikeouts today. Mellow or at
I think the way I'm seeing Mello right now, I haven't seen much of that ball, but Mello looks really settled in early, and I could see him having a good game.
They like to see Fanshawe's pitcher. That is swung on and missed. Breaking that's pretty far outside the zone. Ruben and Allen. Steps off the man there. That thing was everyone there. There isn't a pitch clock in the OCAA, at least yet. Not sure if they're bringing it in, but there isn't a pitch clock. And actually, no, that is outside. Mr. Hughes, what do you expect from the Lords this season? That's an aspect too.
I expect the Lords to improve. They had a great last year, but there were some times where they should be winning those ball games and they can't close it out. They're making mistakes, and I could see them shutting that down. As
the big spin there, that's bad.
Looks at 3. The count is 3-2. There's 2 down in this top of the first. There's a good at bat. That Orman beating.
Apologize for that, having a little audio issues. What happened right there, ball got away, and the runner that was walked earlier is now on second base.
So it's a 1-1 count. Man in scoring position now, the pitch. Taken for ball 2. It's a good take.
That was a really close at bat earlier, but batter worked really hard to get on base there by the base on balls. Looking at the runner at second, the pitch. Now it's swung on. That one is going to go way foul and out of the stadium. Hope no one parked their car over there. I didn't.
No, I made sure I didn't.
I would never park my car anywhere near a baseball stadium.
Seems like a disaster waiting to happen. The 2-2 pitch coming here. If you can get out of this inning without allowing a run, that'd be huge.
Like I said, don't want to let them score early. And that one gets away from the catcher, but the runner will stay at second.
Yeah, the catcher did well to just keep it in his vicinity, not allow the runner to move up 90 feet.
It was a good breaking ball to get them fishing, but catcher was able to block it. So no advance there. Here's a very important pitch, though. You do not want to walk him here and keep the inning going. Here's the 3-2. That one is swung on, and that one is going to be thrown to first, and he is safe. Very close play there.
Yeah, he did a good job to get over to it. Showed off his range, but couldn't show off his arm a little bit. Throw was a little bit offline, and it'll be I think that's an infield hit. I wouldn't count that as an error. We'll obviously
just really good running there.
We'll obviously get the official scoring of that eventually, but
yeah.
I think that's an infield hit. He really busted it out of the box.
It was hard to see where that ball ended up, as like I said to the fans earlier. Next up is the right fielder, Aiden Chu. It'll be a very big chance here for Fanshawe to get on the board early. Here's the pitch. That one is outside for ball one.
Yeah, and Fanshawe has a chance here to manufacture a run without putting the ball in the outfield yet. If you can do that early in a game, get that pitch count up, looking solid.
Not close, according to the umpire, 2-0.
I thought it was a good pitch, but
maybe
it's a good call.
Tiny bit close to the hitter. The 2-0 swung on miss. It was very important there. You did not want to go down 3-0.
This is a really important at-bat. Don't want to load the bases. Don't want to give up a run. Got to get out of this inning.
His runner is going. Swung on a miss. That one is going to throw to third, and the third baseman will drop it. And the runner is going to come on to home, and he will score. And Fanshawe leads 1-0 in the first inning.
Yeah, third baseman Malik Jones was more focused on getting that tag than catching the ball. Took his eye off it. It was a strike call and a throw to third to try and get the runner. But
I thought he would
drop play and leads it to a Fanshawe run.
I guess a big reason you didn't want to throw to second there was because maybe if you throw to second, the runner from third will start running to home.
Yeah, I think that's why they didn't throw, but you'd almost prefer just let him get it. That's a strikeout, and the inning is over.
His second of the inning, so not the worst outcome. Only one run allowed here. 2 strikeouts for Melo with one runner left on base.
They would have preferred to get out of the inning without anything, and they really could have, as there was not a single ball that went in the outfield by Fanshawe, and they just allowed a run.
It was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate the fact that he was able to score there because it was just dropped by the third baseman Malik James, but
yeah, and that sequence of walk, pass ball, infield hit, and then an error.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it does happen sometimes. But it doesn't mean that Durham can't strike back right here because Durham has a lot of offensive firepower, especially leading off Zach Rivers, the center fielder. I already got my notebook. You?
I did. I'm using it right
Yep.
now.
Yeah, it's a new school. It's a new school year. The summer is coming to an end and fall's beginning. Best time of the year, in my opinion. Baseball is alive,
Yep, it's been good in the MLB so far.
and the MLB playoffs are coming soon. The Blue Jays. I'm definitely going to a game.
Yeah, I gotta be there. Just like you should be here for the next game for the Durham Lords tomorrow. Same time, but there's a doubleheader. Unlike today. So Heppel will be the pitcher for the Fanshawe Falcons. Looking after they scored a run to shut the Lords down and take the lead going into the second.
And tomorrow the Lords face the Lambton Lions for a doubleheader. First pitch is taken for a strike.
It's Zach Rivers at the plate for the Lords. The center fielder definitely has some speed on the base paths if he can get on base.
And that one is also in there for called strike 2. 0-2 very quickly here.
And this is what I thought that Mello should try and do, is just get ahead early.
And that was chopped to the shortstop. He's going to pick it and throw it, and he is out.
Yeah, we were talking about how Rivers is a good runner, but that's just a great throw by the shortstop, McGowan,
And
who makes a good play.
You got to make it really quick because Rivers can run.
Yep.
I promise you that. Next up is the right fielder, Ryan Mattis. That one is swung on, but that one is going to go foul. Want to know something? I actually went to elementary school with Zach Rivers.
Oh, yeah?
Long time ago.
Which elementary school was that?
It was Norman G. Powers.
Wow.
That is high for ball one.
Same age group or?
Yep.
Wow.
Same grade. Same everything.
So that's in there for strike 2. Trying to make quick work of Ryan Mates.
Here's the 1-2, and that is high for ball 2. Lord's dugout. Trying to get to the pitcher, maybe.
So now the 3-2 count.
No, I thought it was 2-2. That one is chipped to the third baseman. Grabs it, throws it, and gets away from the first baseman, and he is safe.
He doesn't try and squeeze that extra base. Knows getting on base is a hard enough task. Don't want to risk it on his way to second.
I'm not sure if that'll be counted as an infield hit or an error, but we will.
I think that would be an
see.
error.
Probably will. But Mattis ran hard.
Yeah, Mattis definitely made it a tougher play, but it's still one that should be made.
Next up is the designated hitter, Evan Torres. Looking to get something going here for the Lords and tie this game up. That one is swung on, and that one's going to be caught at the shortstop. Throwing a second for the first out, and first is safe.
Yeah, went for the double play. You'll get the lead runner, and you'll always take that, as Torres is a quick runner, so it's going to be difficult to get to. Especially on that high chopper, it was always going to be difficult, no matter who the runner was.
Just about every player on the Lords lineup and team is a very big speedster. The Lords are very big in their speed. Next up is Malik James, the third baseman here. The number 4 hitter. First pitch is in there for a strike. Here comes the 0-1. That one is not even close.
It's well outside.
A waste pitch. Do you think we see the runner Mattis trying to steal here with 2 outs?
No, I don't think you wanted to run into outs this early in the game. Allow your hitters to do the work as it's a 1-2 count off the strike.
Here comes the 1-2. Swung on a miss for strike 3, and that ends the inning.
So that's his first strikeout of the game, and it ends the first inning. Holden Hepple did really well in the bottom of the first. We'll see the Fanshawe Falcons come up to bat now with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate Lords fans were not able to get baguettes right there. And if you don't know, every time the Lords score a run, you get free baguettes. So if you want that, come out to Kingsman Stadium tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or just throughout the rest of the season. It's also the same for softball as well. Why do you drink that?
I don't have any water, so
Damon here is drinking, what is it, Prime?
That's like
No,
the messy version of Prime.
Messy version of Prime. Why do you drink that?
It's horrible. I don't know why.
I just drink Nea water, natural spring water.
Which is always a better option. I wouldn't even wish these players had to drink this. I hope they don't. But it's very nice from Al to allow us to have it.
From what I've heard, it refills your electrolytes, but I'm okay.
Does its job. It's only 10 calories as well.
10 calories. How much protein? Is there any?
0.
0? Of course. Well, I don't even know why I asked that.
So it'll be Luke Allen, the center fielder for Fanshawe.
The center fielder. Not much of solid contact in the first inning, but players just setting in here as first game of the season. That one is chipped foul behind the first base bag.
Yeah, and Sam Mello just trying to settle in here. If you can get some quick outs, that would be nice for the Lords. In there, they'll call that a ball.
Yeah, you always want to get in front early as much as you can. And in this case, when you're down, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to get right past the second baseman.
Yeah, first baseman Eric Smith went after, and then second baseman Quinton Earl had a diving effort. Neither of them could come up with it, and it'll be a hit.
It was a good effort.
And still no hard contact for Fanshawe, but they're just getting runners on.
Playing some small ball early on.
Gets a good pitcher like Sam Mello. That's what you have to do.
There's a strike. Well, he's the ace, so that's why he's starting on opening day.
Yep. And you'd expect him to settle in here, but Fanshawe's working him hard.
It's the first game of the season. Runner stealing here, and the ball is bobbled and dropped by the catcher. And the runner is in there for a stolen base. That's already their second of the game.
Yeah, and it's clearly they see something which is allowing them to go quick and early in these counts.
So early trouble on here in the second inning. Here's the 1-1. Swung on a miss for the strike.
Yeah, if Mel could get a strikeout here, that'd be huge.
You need to get an out here and not advance the runner to third. Here comes the 1-2. Not close for ball 2.
Just down. I think that's more of a setup pitch for this next 2-2 pitch.
Maybe setting up the fastball here.
I think so. Saw low. Wonder if he goes high.
And there you call it. A little bit too high, though. And now it's a full count.
Yeah, just not enticing enough for the batter to go after.
Fairly easy take there. Full count pitch coming up. And an ugly swing and miss there. That's his third strikeout in the second inning.
Yeah, and I will say, even though it's 1-0 Fanshawe, he's dialed in getting strikeouts.
He's locked in.
4 outs, 3 of them strikeouts so far.
Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Not in there for ball 1 to start the at-bat. It's getting a little windy here as I just hear flags above me just completely almost about to blow away.
2 beautiful flags.
Damon's hair is about to blow away too.
And this piece of paper.
You mean the book?
Piece of paper in the book.
It's going to rip out of the book.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the 2-0. Catcher tried framing it there, but and he got the call apparently. It's 2-1. That looked outside to me.
Yeah, I thought so too, but
We're far away.
umpire saw something. He's got a better point of view.
I saw the frame action. 2-1. Just about the same place, but called a ball this time. Hitters ahead, 3-1. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And that is high for ball 4. This is the second walk of the game. I don't think that walk is the worst outcome because now that sets up a double play possibility that would end the inning.
Yeah, it's not the worst, but obviously you don't want to be walking batters. And
There's a mound visit here.
Yeah, could lead to a big inning if you just continue to walk batters.
I would imagine this is probably just to try to calm him down and give him some time to, I guess, recover right here.
Yep, maybe a little talk about how they're going to attack this next batter.
As it's the number 9 hole hitter that's next.
Trent Lamb,
the second baseman. Would be big here if Fanshawe can drive in some more runs. There's in there for strike 1. Good way to start and come back. Really high there, maybe trying to see if the runners would be going here. Do you expect that?
No, I wouldn't expect them to go here. You don't want to run into an out and potentially end a big inning that could be mustering itself up here, and that's hit well.
And dropped by the shortstop. Thrown to first is thrown away. And the runner is going to come in to score. It's 2-0 Fanshawe here in the second inning.
And it's the second error leading to runs from the Lords, giving them a 2-0 lead.
Defense not off to the best start that it could be, and now there is another runner at third. On the corners now. It was bobbled at first by the shortstop, Jacob Murphy, but recovered enough where he was able to make a throw, just not an accurate one because it pulled the first baseman off the bag. The runner's going to second. Here's a throw, and he's safe. He got around the tag.
Yeah, I thought he had him, but just wiggling himself around the tag.
That one is hit foul to the third base coach. So no 0-2 count here. You're really looking for strikeout. Unfortunately, double plays out of the option now, but unless they can catch the runners in motion. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And it's a big swing and miss for the strikeout, his fourth.
And it's really the only way they're getting outs right now is via the strikeout, which is not been a good look on the team defense.
Hasn't been able to rely on his defense as of right now. Next up is Nolan Rice, the third baseman, the second hole hitter. Be huge if Fanshawe can drive more runs, as that one almost gets away. But a good grab there by the catcher.
It's the third baseman, Nolan Rice. Let's see if he can deliver a couple runs for the Fanshawe Falcons.
And that one wasn't even close. That one honestly might have been like a pitch out. I'm not sure, but a quick 2-0 count here. Maybe losing the zone.
It's in there for a strike, just getting him back down to earth, allowing him to get back in this count, get back in this at-bat. Don't want to load the bases.
And then load the bases and next number 3 hole hitter. As that one is outside for ball 3. It's 3-1 count. Big spot here early in the top of the second. The 3-1 is outside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded here with 2 outs.
Catcher number 23, Marcus Normandin.
Marcus Normandin, the catcher, now up to bat. Looking to extend Fanshawe's lead early here. And take away the motivation from the offense and the pitcher. That was his high for ball 1 to start this at bat.
He's really got to throw a strike soon, like this next pitch, because it's starting to get away from him.
Yeah, and he's not getting the zone right now, as that's ball 2. You need to get something chopped and try to rely on your defense right now to get out of this. Ground ball would be probably a really good thing here. Here's the 2-0. That one is swung on to left field, but it's going to go foul, and the left fielder cannot get to it.
And, you know, I think you'll take that as a strike just to get it on the board inside the zone. Remind him that he can throw strikes. He's a good pitcher. It's 3 walks already. Can't have another.
Here comes the very important pitch. It is too low for ball 3. And you think he's probably going to have to challenge him right here.
Yeah, he has to. Can't walk a runner home.
Wasting no time here, and that one is swung on. That's going to be a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Second runner's coming in as well. Fanshawe scores 2 more runs and leads 4-0 in the top of the second inning.
That's a beautiful piece of hitting. Knows the pitcher has to challenge him, and he comes up swinging. The 3rd run of the second inning for Fanshawe, and they lead 4-0.
So they've scored 3 runs here in the second inning and still could score some more, as there's someone on second and third here. Still 2 outs. Next up is number 4 hitter, the designated hitter, Connor Rodwin. And we start this at bat as well with a ball.
Just doesn't seem like Mello has it tonight. Today. It's not tonight. It's not a night. But it doesn't seem like he has it today. Gets the called strike there.
Call there. He is a good pitcher, and he's got it, or else he wouldn't be here if he wasn't.
He just has to find it.
And that one hits the batter. And that once again loads the bases. Didn't look like the batter did much of a way to get out of the way. But regardless, it's a hit by pitch, and the bases are loaded again. And it's like deja vu about 5 minutes ago. Next is the right fielder, Aiden Chu.
Yeah, what they have to avoid is allowing another 2-run double. Gets a strike call there.
Good way to start off this at bat. Get out early in front. Wasting no time here on this pitch. Big swing and miss there for strike 2.
That's where he has to get back to. 0-2 count. Got to put him down somehow.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Big swing there, and that one is going to get behind the third baseman for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is offline, and the second run scores. It's a 6-0 game, and another run almost came in as the ball got away. But it is now a 6-0 game here in the top of the second inning. 5 runs here.
Yeah, it's a disaster in this second, leading to 5 runs and a couple of minor errors,
and another
leading to runs.
Another 2-run double, and there's going to be a mound visit here, and this might be it for Mello.
Yeah, they already had a mound visit in this inning. I don't know the OCAA rules, but you can't have a second, so that'll be his game done. 1 2/3, 6 runs allowed, 4 Ks, 3 walks, and a hit batter. So that's the stat line for Sam Mello.
Just didn't have it going in this inning, unfortunately, but now coming into this one is going to be number 23, Mark Terry, who is from Uxbridge, Ontario. He is 6'3" and throws the ball on the right hand.
Yeah, let's see if he can deliver some stability for this Durham Lords pitching.
And I believe this is his debut for the Durham Lords, because I don't see any online stats unless I'm looking at the wrong ones, of course. So the Lords go to their bullpen early, as they just didn't get the start that they were hoping for, as they're down here by 6 pretty early. But I've seen this Durham Lords team come back from really crazy leads before.
This is not the start that the Lords would be looking for. We can look back to 2024, the 2023-2024 season, where the Durham Lords won 16-15. They're going to hope for a crazy game like that with lots of scoring, considering one team's already done a lot of scoring 2 innings in.
Durham's going to want to get out of this one and just like immediately start scoring. If they are not able to score in the bottom of the second, it's going to really put the offense down.
Yeah, they need to answer quickly, even if it's just one run, just to prove that they can get some offense going on this Fanshawe
Next is
pitcher.
the center fielder, Luke Allen. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. That is too high for the umpire, 1-0.
The 1-0 coming, and that's a called strike, getting himself on the board for the first strike of his season.
You're going to want to get out of this quick and not allow another run and put this game further out of reach. Not in there, too low for ball 2. Too low for 2. And in there for strike 2.
Yeah, I thought it was a little low from my vantage point, but says it's at the knees, 2-2.
Called it immediately. That one is chipped to the really slow chipper, and no one's going to be able to get this one.
Yeah, and that's just like a swing and bunt.
That's just very unfortunate there as Fanshawe scores another run. I don't think that's an error. I think that's just going to be an infield hit.
No, that's an infield hit, and that's just like a perfect bunt, but swinging. So it's 6 runs in the inning, 7 on the night on the day for the Fanshawe Falcons.
The swinging bunt was able to drive in another run, as now it is 7-0, as they scored their 6th run this inning. And the runner is stealing for second. That one is absolutely smoked to right field. Right fielder's under it just before the warning track and makes the play for the final out. So 6 runs scored here. That makes it 7-0 Fanshawe as the inning finally comes to an end, and they're going to want to, Durham's going to want to really start getting it going here. And here it is, 6 runs on only 4 hits.
Yeah, and I think they'll be a little perplexed on how that happened, considering only 4 hits and there's 6 runs. But it's just because of the lack of strikes being thrown, which led to, and some errors,
And
which
the
led to
defense.
runs.
Durham's going to want to get off early here. You really like this song. We appreciate all of you for watching us here in this Saturday afternoon on YouTube or the OCAA website. As the Lords here are down early 7-0 in the bottom of the second inning, looking to kickstart or hotwire their offense here.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting inning, considering the fact that they're down, but they're not out yet. There's plenty of innings.
Plenty of time left. As we're going to lead off here with Eric Smith, the first baseman.
Leading off for Durham, first baseman, number 22, Eric
Hitting
Smith.
in the 5th spot of the lineup. Here's the first pitch of the inning is in there for strike one. There's the 0-1. And that is too low.
That's a good take.
Dropped by the catcher.
It's a good pitch because it's in the zone for a while and then drops right down, right in front of the hitter, but he just read it off the hand. And
The big breaking ball. And that one's not even close.
2-1 the count.
You ever thought about playing baseball?
No.
No?
Always been a soccer guy.
Yep.
Did you play baseball?
That one's almost hits him, actually. Funny enough, I actually discovered baseball until when I was like 13 years old, so it was almost too late by then.
Yeah.
I was more of a soccer, hockey guy. Still am.
Makes sense. This is great sport still.
Yeah, I can see now the fans got out of the way. That one is chipped out, and that one's going to go onto the street and hope no one's car is there for a full count. Here's the full count, and that is outside for ball 4. Good start here for the Lords. They're on base here.
Apple's first walk of the afternoon. And we'll see number 24, Quentin Earl, the second baseman, try and deliver some runs.
Just advance the runner at least. Here's the pitch. It's a big swing and miss there for strike one. Not in the zone for a 1-1 count. I have a feeling Durham's going to score this inning. You?
I don't know. I think this pitcher Happel he's quite locked in.
Oh, of course.
So I don't. It's going to be difficult. They're going to have to put some good at bats together if they want to get a run on the board.
I have faith, though. And that one is outside in the dirt.
Looks like another setup pitch. I think this is going to be a high fastball. Try and get him swinging right through it.
Yeah, don't want to lose it in the dirt, and the runner steals second. And now it is chopped right to the third baseman. Throw to second is out for the first. Not in time. So they don't get the double play, but they do get one out here.
Yeah, they got the lead runner, and it's almost the more important one. Obviously, you'd like to get both. It's going to be difficult considering that was chopping. If it's hard hit to the third baseman, could have time to get two, but it's chopped slowly. It's always going to be difficult to get both.
Next is Eddie Boretsky, the left fielder. That one's in there for called strike one.
And DH Connor Redwin just walked right by us. That guy is jacked.
I didn't see him. I was looking.
Wait for him to walk by again.
Throw to first for pickoff, but gets back in time. That one is swung on and gets past the shortstop for a base hit.
It's a good piece of hitting.
Loud contact there and just gets behind the shortstop. And that's the first hit of the inning for the Durham Lords. And looking to start something here. 2 runners on with only 1 out. Jacob Murphy is next, the shortstop for the Durham Lords. Here's the first pitch is too high for ball one.
Yeah, it's a couple of men on, 1 out. Let's see if the Lords can score a couple runs, get back into this one.
I don't expect them to score, of course, 7 here, but score a couple here and your pitching holds in the next inning or two, and they could definitely come back. Game isn't over until it's over, though. And as a Toronto fan, trust me, I know that. 3-0 count here to start.
Getting real close to
at-bat.
loading these bases with 1 down. That'd be huge for the Lords. And he got hit.
And he hits him kind of in the lower back, and that'll load the bases.
Sprints it out. Tough cookie, Jacob Murphy. So now we'll see the catcher, the 9-hitter, Jonah Morant. Got some pop. Let's see if he can deliver.
Nice walk-up song.
You like it?
What's your favorite walk-up song of all time?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Mine's Alejandro Kirk's walk-up song. So bases are loaded here with 1 out as a real chance here for the Durham Lords to break the score and get on the board, obviously, but try and get back into this game. Here's the 1-0. Now when it's chips right to the pitcher, he's going to throw home, and he's out. And just super unfortunate, but the bases still remain loaded.
And I think the catcher thought there was 2 outs in the inning.
He must have.
Because he
could've-
had a play at first,
Yeah.
but he kind of started to walk back to the dugout. And it's just a little mental lapse by the catcher who has so much on his mind trying to call this game.
That we'll see if that costs him right here. There's one of the best Lords hitters right here. Zach Rivers is leading off. Now it is chips right in front of the catcher, but what? Not exactly sure what happened. It looks like it chipped right in front, but the umpire first signaled out, but now he's signaling safe.
I don't really know what happened on that play, but it's going to be an 0-1 count regardless.
I think like what happened was like it went, and hold that thought, chopped right back to the pitcher again. He's going to throw to first, and what an unbelievable job there by Fanshawe to not allow any runs there.
Yeah, Happel did really well. Let's see if the Lords pitchers can shut them down and give their hitters another chance, as they did have the bases loaded. A couple of great defensive plays ending that inning.
Just very unfortunate last 2 outs there. Those pitcher got both of the last outs. I believe what happened in the that first pitch to Zach Rivers where it chipped out in front, I believe went just right in front of the catcher, but at first it was deemed fair and everyone was saying go get it, but then I don't understand why the umpire signaled out at first.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Maybe he was saying for like the strike, obviously, but then said safe. It's still a little bit confusing, but
didn't end up mattering in the end, really.
no.
But Durham would have loved for it to matter, as it would have mean they scored a run. They need some quick innings if they want a chance. They can't be going deep 15-minute innings.
Oh yeah. They need their pitcher Mark Terry to throw a scoreless one and a quick one right here, right now. And the defense has to be strong if they want to try and come back in this game and not allow them to score more runs so far, as they've scored in both innings so far.
Yeah, the first inning was not a bad inning at all for Sam Mello. The second inning, on the other hand, was a different story.
Oh. Who's clapping?
It's not good
That's
news.
not good.
We did just get news that Humber's losing, so maybe there were some
maybe
claps for that.
Maybe that.
And Durham softball is beating St. Clair 10-1 in the third.
Wow.
Wow. It's just usual from the Durham softball team.
I mean, they were the champions of all of Canada last year. Not only did they win the provincial champion, not only were they the provincial champions, but they were also the nationals.
Yeah,
the national
they
champions.
were, and they were by far the best team.
They won absolutely everything. They didn't lose a single game last year. So they'll look to be doing that again here. As we're underway here in the third inning with strike one.
A swing and a miss. 0-2 now. Might have got a foul tip on it.
Softball's on the road right now, but they will come back and play their home opener next Saturday, also against the Fanshawe Falcons. And we hope to see you then.
What day is that?
That is September 13th on Saturday. First pitch is at 1. It's a doubleheader, 1 o'clock and 3. That one is swung in the dirt. He's going to throw to first for the strikeout.
Second baseman number 11, Trent Lamb.
First strikeout of his night.
He gets the strikeout and throw to first for the confirmation. And a good first out there. And that's in there for strike one. That's loud contact. They're going to be hit right to the third baseman, thrown to first for the second out.
That's a good play. Had an error earlier in the game. That's Malik James, but just settling in and making a really good play.
Locked in.
Yep, has to be. This whole defense has to be better. There was 2 errors in the first 2 innings. Didn't see a sign of one there.
So a good defensive play, and now Fanshawe has quick 2 outs here, and that's strike one to start this at bat. That's a big swing. That's going to be high into center field. Center fielder Zach Rivers is under it and makes the catch for the final out.
And that is exactly what they needed from that top of the third. 3 quick outs.
Manager will definitely like that one. It'll be even better if the Lords can even try to score here in the bottom of the third now.
Yeah, they're going to need to start scoring soon. It's a 7-inning game, so.
Oh yeah, and we're in the bottom of the third, so we're almost halfway. If this isn't really halfway, right?
No, halfway would be halfway through the fourth. Doesn't seem like we have a pitcher switch, so it'll be Heppel out.
Well, of course, he's thrown 2 scoreless innings.
Yeah, and he's been terrific, and he made 2 great plays to get out of a jam.
We'll see if the Lords can get that going again and just try to start scoring some runs. Leading off for Durham Leading off for Durham is, I don't have him on my lineup.
5. Ryan
Oh, my
Mattis.
bad. That looked like an S.
Ah.
Ryan Mattis, the right fielder, leading off for Durham. If any of you watching like college football want to report this score I just witnessed, and there's a chop to first base, and that's a very quick first out for Fanshawe. Not the greatest for Durham right there.
We're seeing the University of Minnesota winning 59-0 at halftime against the Northwestern St. Demons.
My goodness.
It's a crazy score line we just saw.
And that's at halftime?
Halftime. So they still got half the way to go. On pace to be at 118 to nothing.
My goodness.
Doesn't seem like two teams are out there.
No, and that one almost hits him. That's ball 1. At bat right now is Evan Torres, the designated hitter, hitting third today. Here's the 0-1, or excuse me, the 1-0. And that is outside for ball 2. Lords need a spark here in the bottom of the second. That's a big swing. Chopped behind for foul. You don't see many home runs in the OCAA, but a home run would absolutely spark this team right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's needed.
No.
You just hope they get on base, but it would really do something for this offense.
That's swung on. That's going to go right behind the second baseman and the first baseman for a base hit. Just got it right in between that hole there.
So that's the DH, Evan Torres, who gets on. So we'll see third baseman Malik Jones up to bat. Got to have a good at bat here.
Malik James is playing third base today. Made a nice play in the last inning. In the top of the third. That's a big swing and miss there. Here comes the 0-1. Check swing there, but called strike anyways. It's a quick 0-2 here. That one is chopped foul as he stays alive. Here comes the 0-2. That one is hit hard to the third baseman, past the third baseman for a base hit. The second of the inning. And players at first and second with one out. Pretty much like the last inning. So Durham looks to get something going here, as this is probably his best chances they could get, as Eric Smith, the first baseman, is up now, hitting fifth. I feel like it's getting more windier here by the second. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. That one is swung, and that's going to be right in front of the pitcher and catcher. Thrown to first, not in time. He is safe, and the bases are loaded here with one out. Just a little chip right to the pitcher and the catcher. Pitcher both raced for it.
And I'm getting deja vu from last inning where there was the bases loaded and one out, but they got to score off of it this time. Quentin Earl up to bat, the second baseman, excuse me.
Second baseman, number 24, Quentin Earl.
Big swing there to the third baseman. Gets past him. 1 run's going to score. Here comes the second runner. The throw to the plate is in time for the out.
That's a great throw to get Malik James.
But the Lords do score, and they're on the board here in the bottom of the third. 7-1 now.
What, 2 down?
I'm not really sure why he was sent because the ball wasn't as far as it looked.
No, it was not like very far into the outfield, and we know he's quick, but you're expecting a lot from the third baseman there for him to get home on that play.
Yeah, and these Fanshawe defenses have rocket arms, and we saw it right there. Let's see if Durham can get a little bit more here with runners. 2 runners in scoring position. That's a swung on to the third baseman right into his glove. Thrown to first. And that is the final out of the inning. So the Lords do get 1 run. Probably hoping they could get more, but they get their first run and RBI of the season.
And, you know, they're showing that they can score on this Fanshawe pitching staff. So let's see if they can keep that momentum going, get a quick top of the fourth, and then a long bottom of the fourth.
Yes, in his last inning, Terry threw a really quick 1-2-3, and hopefully he can do that again. And now that the Lords scored, fans finally get their baguettes. I want a baguette right now. Oh, it got stolen. I would like a baguette right now.
I would love a baguette, but yeah, might not be a enjoyable viewer experience if we were both sitting here
Maybe not.
eating baguettes.
But we'd enjoy it.
We'd enjoy it.
You couldn't see it there, but Louis still having a great time dancing across the entire stadium.
At 7-1, Fanshawe Falcons. Does Durham have any life in this game, or can Fanshawe sniff it out with a couple of runs in this inning?
Fanshawe, third base, number 13, Nolan Rice.
Nolan Rice is going to lead off for the Fanshawe Falcons. He's the third baseman today. And Fanshawe's going to want to put this game more out of reach. That one is swung and foul. Did the players just yell chicken and rice?
Yeah, name's Rice, so I guess that must be his nickname, Chicken and Rice.
Chicken and rice is pretty good, but now it is chipped right to the third baseman. Grabbed, thrown. It's in time.
Yeah.
What a great play there.
Great play, good call by the 1 down.
It was a little bit of a slow roller, and Rice was absolutely running to that first base bag.
Yeah, and it needed to be right on the money, and it was. Just half step ahead of Rice, who nearly got on.
Instead, it's a quick first out of the top of the fourth. And that one is in there for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle for strike 2. I'm surprised he held back on that one. He definitely might be wanting that pitch back.
Yeah, it might be the best pitch of the at-bat that he's going to get.
And that one's not even close. Trying to see if he'd be reading really badly, but
Low and inside. You're really not going to get a batter with that pitch most of the time.
Here comes the 1-2. That one is chipped right to the shortstop and third baseman. Third baseman grabs it, throws in time. What a great running play.
Yeah, it just showed his range with that play. You don't really think about third baseman as the type to have that range coming inside. That's usually a shortstop's play.
It was kind of rolling to shortstop Jacob Murphy, but Malik James ended up absolutely charging that ball and getting a really nice second out. And 2 outs here.
And those, we're not thinking about it as much because he's making the plays, but those are huge plays to make because if he misses one of those, there's a man on first, maybe second if it's an error. With only 1 out, and that could lead to runs. It's a great pitch. It's 0-2.
2 quick strikes here for Connor Rodwin, the designated hitter. Here comes the 0-2. This could end the inning. And there's a big fishing pitch right there. That one wasn't even threatening the zone. Almost in the batter's box.
Yeah, this.
Here comes the 1-2. That one is chipped right back for a foul ball. He barely got contact with that one.
And this is a classic at bat from a good hitter. It's just go down 0-2 and then you just battle. And he's just battling right now.
He is the designated hitter and the number 4 hole hitter after all. So obviously they put him here for a reason. And that is a big swing. And that gets right past the second baseman for a base hit. And he's going to turn for second, but just pull back. And Rodwin has a hit here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, and that's a sophisticated at-bat right there from a great player. As he goes down 0-2, he battles and gets a good base hit on solid contact.
I'm getting laughed at right now. Next is Aiden Chu, the right fielder. Me and Huser are getting laughed at by our boss right now. That one goes foul.
I wonder what for.
He's just jealous he's not on the mic.
Yep. It's always the best job.
Yep. So runner on first here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Fanshawe trying to extend their lead, take the life out of Durham more, and I believe a balk was called.
Don't see that often.
Not in the OCAA, not really, no, as Rodwin just advanced up to second. As I believe a balk was called. I didn't see which umpire called it.
I didn't see either. It's a tough vantage point from where we are.
I'm sure Lords are not liking that call.
Puts the runner in scoring position with 2 down.
Outside for ball 1.
I believe. Oh, yeah, 1 ball. 0 strikes.
No, it's 1-on-1 because they hit a foul ball.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I'm just looking at the the
Yes,
scoreboard.
I see that too.
They're off.
And that one is absolutely tanked to left field. The left fielder is going to drop it, and Rodwin is going to come in to score. Another defensive error by the Durham Lords, and it is 8-1 Fanshawe.
Yeah, and that's really disappointing as we know he's a good fielder.
Eddie Boretsky.
Yeah, Boretsky just makes a mistake. Not one you see him make often.
It just looked like it popped right out of his glove. Like he had the read on it and everything. Just popped right out of his glove, and unfortunately Fanshawe makes them pay for that.
Yeah.
As Aiden Chu gets another RBI. He's going to try to steal second here. Here comes the throw, and it's not even close. Aiden Chu has a stolen base here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and catcher Jonah Moran, he's having a tough time throwing out batters. As they have speed, and they're using it.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one is popped up to left field, but it's going to go foul.
Malik James just hawking it down, and if that was anywhere near the fence, he would have got it.
He would have jumped over the fence for that one. So it's 0-2 here with the runner in scoring position. And he knows what he wants. Here comes the 0-2. And that one is too low on the left side. Make it 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one is smoked to the shortstop. He's going to throw it to first, and just in time by about just a step or so. And that ends the inning. But Fanshawe does score another run and lead by 7 once again. They're up 8-1.
Yeah, completely erasing that inning from the Lords in the bottom of the third with a run off an error. That's the third run Fanshawe has scored off of an error. And really, if we're technically speaking, none of those runs from Fanshawe are earned because of the fact that there was 2 outs when all the 6 runs were scored in the second.
I think about possibly four or 5 runs. I'm not something around that. They are not earned, and if the play was made with no error, it would be a much closer game.
Yep. And because of the errors, it's 8-1, not because of the pitching, in my opinion.
No.
There hasn't been a whole lot of hard contact. It's been the defending that's struggled for the Lords.
Just unfortunate, but that doesn't mean that they're going to give up here, because they're not wanting to give up at all. Does that taste good, that drink?
You know, it's growing on me, I guess.
Oh, you said it tasted horrible.
It's horrible still. Yeah, like I'm trying to enjoy it, but it's difficult. Yeah. The taste is fine. It's the aftertaste.
I almost don't.
Yeah, no, I'm just having little sips just to make sure I don't lose my voice on this call.
You're not losing your voice, big bro.
I'm hoping not. I did do 2 soccer games last night, where they did a little bit on my voice. And there for strike 1.
At bat for the Lords here is, I believe it is Jacob Murphy, the shortstop. He's going to chop that one to the second baseman. Thrown to first is in time for the first out. That's the first quick out there by Fanshawe. They've been getting a lot of first quick outs, and that's, I think, kind of a big reason why Durham hasn't really been able to show their offense a lot here today. The catcher, Jonah Miranda, up next. Trying to get something going.
That's a great pitch. We don't have a box like they do in the MLB, but if we did, I think that'd be right on the corner. It's a great pitch.
Also in there for strike 2, 2 quick strikes in this at-bat.
Settling in really well. It's Apple.
Here comes the 0-2.
Oh.
Called strike 3.
3 straight beautiful pitches. And he's down.
That's his second strikeout of the game. As Heupel has just been dominating so far in this 3-1 innings. And looking pretty good here in the fourth, And that one is chopped right to the shortstop, thrown to first in time, and that's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Fanshawe.
And that was an impressive play as it's hopping. He's reaching down, and there's a lot of times that you'll reach down and try and get that ball, and it'll go right under your glove. It's a great play, a great throw, and the inning is over.
So a very perfect inning here for Fanshawe and Holden Heupel. As now we've reached the 5th inning, and Fanshawe is up 8-1, and starting to look more grim and grim by each out. We thank all of the viewers for watching our stream today. The Lords also play tomorrow against the Lambton Lions, a doubleheader at 1 o'clock and 3. And it'd be amazing if you would also tune in for that as well.
Durham now playing first base, number 13, Tristan Delorier. Now playing shortstop, number 20, Ethan Service.
So some defensive substitutions for the Durham Lords. Ethan Service, I believe, is playing shortstop now. And I'm not sure if I remember hearing who's on first now.
It's number 13.
Tristan Delorier. And
So Ethan Service on at shortstop.
I believe that's what I heard, but
And then at first, Delorier.
Fanshawe, first baseman number 9, Will Trunsness.
so Fanshawe is going to lead off here with Will Verchunsis. And that goes outside for ball 1. The Lords still with the same pitcher, Mark Terry. As he's been pretty good, only allowed 1 run so far, which also was not an earned run for him, and that one's in there for strike 1.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts as well. So he's been doing well.
And that one is swung right past the first baseman for a base hit. Going to go all the way to the right fielder, and he will stay at first for a single. And already Fanshawe starts this inning off with a base hit. Judd McGowan, the shortstop now, up to bat. He's hitting in the 8th spot today. That one is chopped right behind the first base bag for a foul ball.
Great pitch.
In there for strike 2. 2 quick strikes here for Terry.
Just an awesome pitch.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And just outside, according to the umpire. Really close.
Super close call. I thought potentially a strike, but it's a 1-2 count now.
I think it definitely got part of the plate, but not according to the umpire, and he has the better view. We can actually see now as the fans have kind of moved out of the way. And that's in there for strike 3.
Yeah, see, I would have called that one a ball. But regardless, I would have 3 strikes and an out.
That's Terry's 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. Next up is the second baseman, the number 9 hitter, Trent Lamb. That one is chopped right past the first baseman for a base hit, and
Wow.
the second baseman who dived for it. Here comes the throw to third, and not in time.
And a couple of weird bounces in the dirt allowed for it to get by the first and the second baseman,
Now
Delorier and Quinton Earl.
Now they're running to the corners with 1 out. And back to the top of the order with Trevor Loback, the left fielder. That was really close defensively. The second baseman, Quinton Earl, almost got that and head first dived right into the ground. And that one is outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. Runner stealing for second. Here comes the throw. And not even close. No one was able to get to the bag, and that is a stolen base for Lamb. Kind of gets rid of the double play possibility now. So really aggressive on the base. The bases today are Fanshawe's offense. That's a swing and miss there.
So 1-2 count now.
Yep.
Be a huge strikeout if he could get it.
Oh, yes. Fanshawe has been very aggressive today. Here comes the 1-2. Just gets enough contact to stay alive. Almost had a dive for that one with the bat. And he's still alive. Gets another chance. Here it comes. And I believe he just got a piece of that one.
Yeah, another great foul off. Comes right back behind us. The wind really coming down on us now.
Yeah, we apologize if the camera's shaking a little bit. It's really windy here. And now it's a real high pop-up coming back towards us and just goes behind us onto the out of the stadium. I was seeing
I could not see that one.
I was keeping an eye on seeing if I was about to catch that.
I lost it and got
Damon,
a little worried there.
You got to be able to keep an eye on it, and that's a really great base hit there. And 1 run will score. Here comes Lamb. And Fanshawe now has 10 runs here in the 5th inning. They lead 10-1. That's a bases clearing single for Trevor Loback. Gets 2 more RBIs. And now Fanshawe leads 10-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. And back up to bat once again is Nolan Rice, the third baseman. And that was a wonderful at-bat by Loback, staying alive for, I believe it was like 3 foul balls and then able to just muscle one out of there. And they're going to run second, but it goes all the way back. And I guess he changed his mind. No throw to first for whatever reason. Trying to keep this inning alive and avoid double play and get in scoring position. Being very aggressive on the base pass. That one is going to be hit to left field, but that is going to be foul. Fanshawe's aggressiveness has just paid off once again, as scored another 2 here and could still potentially score more with still only 1 out in the top of the 5th. And there goes the runner. Now is hit right to the second baseman, dropped bobbled by the second baseman, and he's going to go all the way to third as low back. And I'm not sure if that'll be ruled as anything.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Took a weird bounce.
Off of the top of his glove, and Earl was a little disappointed with that one.
Like, it could be scored as an error, but you completely understand it if that's just a single, honestly.
Infield hit. And gonna have a mound visit here. This might be the end of the day for Terry. Or just talk to him. I'd say he's been pretty good coming in relief.
Yeah, he's let up these 2 runs here, but it's been pretty good. How long has he been in for? This is a 2 and 1/3
He's been in since the second inning.
Yeah, actually, it's been 3 innings. Actually, 2 2/3.
Yep.
And 2 runs allowed. It's not been his best outing, but
I would say this is a pretty good outing.
it's been okay.
Like,
yeah.
he's got a couple really good innings. Like the last inning where 1 run scored, it wasn't really his fault because of the error. And this one, just unfortunate. It's hard to pitch when your offense has been kind of shut down today. Still only able to score 1 run, and Durham's offense is always capable of doing more than that. So, and it's harder to pitch when your team is down by 9 runs now. As he's going to stay in this game. Here comes the first pitch. That one is popped up to left field. Might have a play on it, and he will.
Runner tagging.
Bertutsky, and they're going to tag home, and that is in there for a sacrifice fly. It's now 11-1. It was dropped by the catcher. He doesn't know where the ball is.
Yeah, so it's a 10-run lead now for Fanshawe.
So they traded out with a sacrifice fly. And they score the 3rd run of the inning.
So I'm getting reports that if the Durham Lords can't score a run in this inning, then they would be mercy ruled, as it's if the team leads by 10 after 5 or more innings, it's a mercy rule.
Durham's going to want to shut this down quickly and get on the bases very fast in the bottom of the 5th then, or else we'll be going home pretty early. There's the first pitch, just in there for a strike.
That's what it said on the rule book, but
we'll see for ourselves.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure. That's Rule 4.7 in the OCAA.
And here comes the 0-1 pitch. And that one is swung on to left field. Left fielder might be able to get to this, and he will not. That one is down for a base hit.
It's going to be an RBI double.
He's going to go all the way to third for a triple. An RBI triple. And Fanshawe scores another one. It is 12-1.
That's incredible base running. Just realized that was going to get into the gap, and he busted it out.
And that was a absolute missile by Rodwin, as Bertutsky was not able to get to that one in time, as it went over his head. And it drove the run in from second, and now he's all the way at third. And like you said, mercy rule might possibly be in effect and looking more possible by the moment now.
It's popped
that
up.
one is popped up. I don't see the use in putting in a new.
Sounds like they had a car.
Oh no, not mine. I don't think there's much point of putting a new pitcher in if you're just going to possibly be mercy ruled in the next inning, unless.
The only thing is you want to believe in your offense.
That
right?
Yeah, you definitely do. Just it's been pretty shut down today, and I imagine Holden Hyper will be out once again. Who's been pretty.
Yeah,
safe to say dominant.
We don't have a pitch count, but that would be the only reason why he comes out, is if he's reached his pitch limit.
Well, the pitch count's definitely low.
Yeah, it would depend if he's
And that one is another base hit into left field, and that's going to extend the lead even more. As Aiden Chu has another base hit and RBI. And now it is 13-1 Fanshawe in the top of the 5th inning.
That's a good piece of hitting again. They're just having good at bat after good at bat as it looks like a bloop in, but he's reaching for it and he just lifts it over the shortstop. It's good hitting and it's exactly what he wanted to score that runner from third.
Looks like Fanshawe is making some changes here. I believe they have a pinch hitter. I did not hear who it was though, so I'll just try to find the number.
24.
It's Luke Allen.
So he's a regular center fielder. I think it may have been a pinch runner is what they brought in.
Oh, maybe that. There's a big swing and miss there. Yeah, Luke Allen's already in the lineup. I'm not sure if there's a pinch runner or not, but I guess we will see you later. There's a big swing and miss there. Started this at bat, 0-1. And that one looked to be a strike,
Yeah,
but
I thought so too.
apparently not.
It looks like the umpire's been in more.
He's been calling that left side a lot from our perspective, a ball, but it's been pretty consistent. Like it hasn't been like one change there, and that one goes behind the catcher's between his legs, and the runner's going to advance to second. And I'm not sure if that would be ruled as a wild pitch or a passed ball.
Did he swing on that pitch? I couldn't see.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a 2-1 or a 1-2 count.
I was more paying attention to the...
Yeah, pass ball. I think it's a 1-2 count.
It is. Yeah, so he did swing on that one, but went between everyone's legs, and that was going to be chipped right back to the pitcher. And he says, thank goodness. And finally, that ends the inning. Fanshawe scores another 5 runs here in the top of the 5th, and if Durham wants to keep this game going, they're going to need to score a few runs
they're
here.
They're going to need to score 3 runs, I believe, as if they're leading by 10. After this inning, the game would be complete. Going to need a couple of heroes to keep this alive.
Once again, Holden Heupel is back out there.
Yeah, that's what we expected.
Yeah. You're not going to take him out at a 13-1 game when he's been absolutely dominating. And
yeah, exactly. No need to use your bullpen here.
They'll save it for their next game. And Durham will probably, after this game, just look forward to the next game tomorrow against the Lambton Lions, a doubleheader.
Yeah, this is a good Durham team, and sometimes you just have rough games, and this has been one of them. And they had a couple of good innings in there pitching-wise.
Oh, yeah. And they had some chances offensively.
Yeah.
They loaded the bases twice.
Yeah. Just 2 big bursts of offense from the Falcons, and it's looking like this one is going to go their way.
I'm sure they will play much better tomorrow. First game of the season, whatever, you know?
Yeah, you move on. You play 18 games. You can't get caught up on the first one.
No.
Technically, you could go 17-1, and that would be a great season. So you can't get caught up in one loss, and it's baseball.
Yeah, baseball is sport of patience. It's sport that changes. It's probably the most unpredictable sport that you can kind of think of, you know? Like, it's not, you can't predict anything.
That's in there for strike 1.
Plus, Fanshawe is a really good team, and they've shown that here today. The dominant pitching and the very aggressive offense. Here comes the 1-1.
And 2-1 as it's low.
Up to bat is Ryan Mattis, the right fielder. He hasn't been too busy defensively today.
Gets by 3-1. Gonna need some good at-bats here if they want to keep this game going into the 6th inning.
A walk here would be very nice, or even more. And that's in there for strike 2, so it's a full count.
And that's like a great pitch. So, yeah, full count. See what he's got.
That one's outside for ball 4. So that's only Heupel's second walk.
Yeah, and he's not a big strikeout pitcher.
So far, 4 innings of work.
Yeah, not a good strikeout pitcher, really, but a great pitcher in the sense that he can get ground balls, let his defense go to work. So if his defense isn't having a great game, it can lead to a rough outing for him, but they've been great today, so it's allowing them to settle in pitching-wise.
And that one is absolutely ripped to left field for a base hit. As Evan Torres delivers here with a single. And quickly 2 runners on for the Lords here, first and second.
Yeah, and the batter who can keep this game alive is now on to bat. Up to bat, excuse me.
Malik James.
Malik James. If in the event that he hit a home run, this game would continue into the 6th.
I think it'd be even better just to load the bases here right now because you don't want to rely on the home run ball.
No, you don't want to rely on it. You just want him to get on.
And
maybe shoot one
try
into
to
the
not
cap.
trade it for outs. That one is in there for strike 1. You can't tell, but sometimes like some of these strikes look low, but it's hard to see from here.
Yeah, we're also on a hill, so it may skew our viewpoint just a little bit. So those pitches right on the knees may look a little low to us.
That one is above the shoulders for ball 1.
And James just doesn't want to get out here. You want to keep this inning going as long as you can. You're down by 12.
And here's the throw to first, and that one's going to get away. And the runners are going to advance. Second and third now. I don't think the first baseman was expecting that.
No, but I think it's not the worst possibility as long as that runner doesn't score because they could load it up. Count as.
No, I didn't mind with the throw. Just I guess I don't think there was much communication there. Now they're gonna have a mound visit.
Yeah.
Looks like
that.
Just trying to talk things over, and I'm sure that'll be ruled as an error. First baseman wasn't even close to getting that, actually.
No, I don't agree with the throw from the catcher because the first baseman, you have to know that he's going to be there, but it just depends who was at fault for the communication error.
So 2 runners in scoring position here. 2 and count with 0 outs. And a real prime opportunity here for the Lords to continue this game. They have their number 4-hole hitter up right now. I don't think walking him would be the worst case scenario. And that one's going to be absolutely tanked to left field. Deep. And that one is gone. There's the home run ball we've been talking about. A 3-run shot for the Durham Lords and Malik James. His first of the season. And he keeps this game alive.
That's a great hit. And he just tanks it to left field.
That one was gone the first moment. We heard that off the bat. We saw all players for Fanshawe putting their hands in the air as now this game is going to continue into the 6th inning. What a shot by James waiting for his pitch.
That's a great hit. And now there's the Fanshawe coach just having a talk with the pitcher.
So James gets the first home run of the season for the Lords. As now this game will remain alive going into the 6th inning. And they're obviously going to keep Heupel on there. It was just had everything going, but in that scenario, it was right person, right time who was at bat.
Yep. So 3 runs in this 5th allows this game to continue and the Durham Lords to stay alive. And
Next
that's
is
hit well.
Tristan Deloria hits that into center field, but the center fielder Luke Allen has got that for the first out of the inning. As now this game is 13-4. As hopefully that kind of gives the Lords a spark. I know it's late into the game, but you never know.
So the batter
Quentin Earl
takes that first pitch strike. That fastball hitting the outside edge.
And that one is popped up to right, foul, and it is caught. That's a very quick out there.
It's the first baseman making the play, and it's a tough play coming to your left, especially when you're right-handed and just coming to your left. That's always going to be a tough play, trying to sort your body out to make the catch. But he makes it look easy.
That's his Eddie Borusky. He's going to bunt here, and it's a good one. Throw to first. It's not in time, and also gets away. And he's going to go to second here, and there will be no throw challenge here. And he's in there.
With a bunt, single.
With a bunt single and an error.
Could really say a bunt double, though.
Could, but unfortunately it's not.
No, won't be ruled as that.
Have you ever seen a bunt double or a triple?
I saw one where it went over the third base's head and he ran to second.
Wow.
Just got a lot of, it was hard throw, and he got all of it with the bunt. I've never seen a bunt triple, though.
So here's Ethan Service now.
His first at bat.
First at bat of the game. And driving in another run would be very nice, as they would cut the lead even more. And that one was high for ball 2. Lord's offense starting to respond here in the bottom of the 5th. That one's going to go foul. And that one really high for ball 3. Possibly starting to lose the strike zone as Heupel. And it's a 3-1 count with 2 outs. Runner on second here. Here comes the 3-1. And just stays alive there. But now it's a full count. And I was only able to just get a tiny bit of contact off that one. And oh, that one almost hits him. If he didn't move his head right there, that would have hit him right in the noggin.
Yeah, so
instead he's on with a walk.
So see first and second with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th.
Lord's threatening here again, and that's Heupel's 3rd walk of the game so far in 4 and 2 innings of work. And I believe the Lords are pinch hitting this next batter.
Yeah, so it's
number 16.
Can't see the number from here yet. Number 16, who's not in the lineup.
Nate Kazmarek. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And they're just going to have a mound visit here, and this might be it for Heupel. A really good performance. 4 2/3, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 4 runs allowed. 3 of them off that 3-run home run by James. As we will have a new pitcher come in for Fanshawe.
Yeah, it's a pretty good performance. He didn't really strike out a lot of players. He didn't really walk many people until this inning.
He really worked the ground ball, though. And
Yeah.
it was a lot of weak contact. Just nothing the Lords could really get much of a hit off of.
I don't think he's too happy with himself on how it ended with that last inning, but has to be happy with the first 4 innings.
Sure, but he has shut down a really good offense here today. So pitching now for the Fanshawe Falcons is Owen Crowther. As all he needs here is 1 out to advance into the 6th inning. Try to get his guys to score more runs. So Nate Kazmarek, I believe, is going to pinch hit for Jonah Miranda, the catcher. And from what I'm seeing, it says that Kazmarek is a right-handed pitcher. And he's pinch hitting for a catcher.
Yeah, so I wonder if he's the dual position.
Probably a position change and pitcher change, maybe. Actually, I don't know.
We'll see in the 6th inning if what is going to happen. But if he can get on base and keep this inning alive, that would be huge for the Lords as they're down 9 runs. 2 men on, 2 outs.
Just able to continue the inning, even if it doesn't drive any runs in. Continue the inning and move it to the top of the order with Zach Rivers would be very productive. As he just wasn't able to get enough of that to send that one out into the field. Here comes the 0-1. That's a big swing and miss for strike 2. 2 quick strikes here on Kazmarek. There's the 0-2, and that one is too low. Kind of trying to get him fishing here.
Yeah, it's a setup pitch. I think he'll go fastball here.
There's the 1-2.
And
he gets away. The runner's going to go to third, and no throw.
And it's not that big of a deal if that runner is at second or third. Honestly, you're up 9 runs. You don't want any silly stuff happening where the runner from first comes if you overthrow trying to rush it.
Yeah. I don't think he had much of a handle on the ball anyway, so no throw was not happening. That one is in the right batter's box.
Yeah, and he's
way
fought
far
back
out
from
of the
0-2 to make it a 3-2 count.
So a really good at bat here. And it'd be great if he could just even get on. Runner's going to go to second. And check swing. Did not go, and that is a walk. Really good at bat. Came back from 0-2 grinded to a full count, and walk here. Really close with a full count, and with the appeal, the umpire kind of at the shortstop side.
Yeah,
I wonder why he wouldn't just be at the third base line, because I'm not sure why he wouldn't ask the umpire at the first base line, because he probably had a better view. But
yeah, I don't really understand that, but
regardless, the bases are loaded now, still with 2 outs, and it's going to be the top of the order, Zach Rivers. And umpire's having a conversation here. I'm not sure if this is another switch or not. This is Durham's coach right here. Or manager, excuse me.
I don't know what's going on between these two, but number 4 is the scheduled hitter, Zach Rivers. So
I don't see why they would pinch hit him. He was one of their best hitters last year. And he is leading off today here for the Lords. So I'm not sure if it's a switch or an argument. I don't know. Also, I don't know if that's actually Durham's.
Yeah,
I really can't see from here. The only reason I say that is because he's wearing black.
and I
so
think
is-
it is because of the fact that
Yeah, it
that
is.
it's the
It
third
is.
base coach.
It is Durham's manager. And he's not happy about something. We wish we knew, but
The only thing I could say was there's a couple of pitches that have hit batters, and then that was a really high fastball that was up in the zone near the batter, but I don't think there's any ill intent, and I just wouldn't really understand the argument with that.
yeah, he's still out there, and might want to be careful eventually because he's causing up a delay here. But just trying to get his word in. And pointing to the Fanshawe dugout.
Yeah, I don't really understand what kind of argument could be going on for this long either. Say your words and go back to the dugout. I don't.
Oh, he called the runner out? Oh, he called Kazmarek out. Oh, I think the conversation was about the check swing maybe.
I
Like-
don't.
They called Kazmarek out.
Yeah. So
That must have been what it was. So then, I don't know how else he would have been out for.
I don't know what's going on, because we're hearing words from the dugout of the Durham that super soft. So I wonder what the call is, because the check swing would be an opinion.
Yeah, and I don't really know.
And he didn't go. It didn't look like he
It
went.
didn't. It looked like it was pretty close, but I also don't know why he appealed to the umpire that was at the shortstop and not the umpire that was closer and had a better view at first.
Yeah,
The first
and
base
then
line.
yeah,
excuse me.
and then the Durham manager was already out before he talked to the first baseman. So it's a pretty confusing play, but the inning is over. We'll go to the top of the sixth.
Really unfortunate because that was a really good at bat, and it also got the Durham Lords to stay alive after the three-run bomb from Malik James, and was almost kind of a no-doubter because, like, you saw the Fanshawe infield, they were throwing their hands up in the air. There's Louis. He's giving away more baguettes to that lucky fan right there.
I want to be next.
Yes.
Does look
over
like
here.
we have a pitching change, though. We have a lefty in.
And he gave it all away. We're never getting baguettes, brother.
Doesn't look like it. At least not today.
Yeah, so there is a pitching change for the Lords. And I'm trying to see the number. I believe that's number 6. Dylan Asink, excuse me. Yeah, Dylan Asink is on the mound now for the Lords. Just try to keep the score right where it is and keep the Lords alive as we head into the 6th inning. And he gets hit on the first pitch. And I'm not sure if that was intentional or not.
I'm gonna say that it was unintentional.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a coincidence after a big talking to.
That's the reason I was like thinking that, but there's a quick runner on first after the first pitch. Is now shortstop McGowan.
Yeah, seems as if the umpires didn't think anything of it, because he would be out of here.
Oh yeah. And it would just be a waste of a use of the bullpen. McGowan is up to bat now, and he throws to first, and it gets away from the first baseman. But he's gonna stay. The runner will stay at first.
It just didn't get far enough, and he didn't realize it in time. If he takes off as soon as that gets by, he can go. But because he only realized when it was about at the fence already, there's really no point. It's a good take, but we're at what, 1-1 the
Yep.
count.
Looks at the first base bag and throws, and that one goes behind the hitter. And the runner's going to go to second without a throw. And that would definitely be scored as a wild pitch. Oh, that one went behind McGowan.
Yeah, second base now with nobody out.
And not looking good so far at the beginning of this inning, as they're already threatening to score here. There's a big swing there, and that one hits the catcher.
He's feeling the effects of it, but it seems like he's going to be okay.
They're just going to have a little break. I don't think the base, I think it was just chopped back and hit him. I'm not sure. I think it was the bat. I don't know. Hard to tell from here. But he seems to be okay, and we'll get back right underway again. 2-2 count, nobody out. Runner on second here. Here's the pitch. And that one's too far outside for a full count. McGowan has worked it. And you honestly have to challenge him here. You can't walk him. The only reason the walk would be okay is it would set up a potential double play, but
Yeah, you still don't want to put runners on.
And go into the deeper part of the order, and that's a swing and miss strikeout. First strikeout of the day and season for Asink.
Really good pitch. It's hard for lefties to hit off lefties with that pitch, where it just goes up and in, right in on your hands. Got to turn on it, and he couldn't.
Next is Trent Lamb, the second baseman, hitting ninth. And that one almost gets away, but the catcher makes a great block there. If that got away, the runner would have absolutely advanced to third. Here comes the 1-0. And he has to get out of the way of that one.
It's been a couple of times where they've had to scurry out of the way of some pitches.
Maybe losing the zone here. If Fanshawe even scores one run, they'll be up by 10 again, and Durham will have to score to stay alive. That's another one. Not even close to the zone. It's a quick 3-0 count. He's going to show bunt here, but pull it back. But it's called a strike. Interesting tactic.
Yeah, it's a weird one with one out. There's no real advantage to advancing the runner other than an infield hit would score him.
And that one swung on, but that one is going to go way foul. So it's a full count now. As Asink has worked back into the at bat. I'm getting cold.
Yeah, the wind is starting to get to me.
And that one gets away from the catcher.
And it'll be first and third with one out now instead of first and second.
And I'm not sure what that'd be ruled with, either wild pitch or pass ball, because that advances the runner to third, and now we're back at the top of the order with Trevor Lowback. He's driven in a bunch today. And a quick mound visit here. Just trying to maybe calm him down. And and they're actually taking him out.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit
Maybe.
on his command, and it'll lead to him being taken out.
Well, a quick outing for Aston, because he's only able to get one out in the 6th inning. Maybe he got injured or something, I'm not sure, but we'll see who the new pitcher is. Pitching for the Lords is going to be Will Clark.
So he'll have a couple of warm-up pitches before he faces his first batter.
Will Clark is a right-handed pitcher, but also plays second base, and he's from Whitby.
So a hometown kid trying to get them out of a jam here in a 13-4 game.
Try to keep this game alive and not get mercy ruled here.
Hey fans, get the latest news on the Durham Lords by visiting durhamlords.com. Schedules, rosters, stats, and more. Durhamlords.com has everything you need to keep up to date with Lords Nation.
What would you explain this game, like how this game has gone for the Lords today?
I would say they've been okay, but the pitching has just been inconsistent, and the defense hasn't been good. So I guess they really haven't been okay. It's been a poor game.
Yeah.
Their hitting hasn't been bad. They've had the bases loaded 3 times, but only have 4 runs to show for it. What do you think?
Yeah, it was just unfortunately, like, the game right at the very get-go was put way out of reach, and when you're losing by a blowout, like, it kind of puts down the motivation to hit or whatever. Like, that's one reason why you got to be like, don't let them get out early, because Fanshawe was up 7-0 in the after the second inning, and right there and then, like, unfortunately.
It makes it difficult.
Unfortunately, like, yeah, it makes it difficult, but it also, like, puts down the offense, especially when you don't score in the next inning.
Yep, I totally agree. And they got to keep Fanshawe off the board here, or else they'll have to score again for a mercy rule, just trying to keep themselves alive in this one.
Here comes the 0-1. And that one is swung onto right field, and the right fielder is able to make the catch, but the runner will come from third, and it will be a sacrifice fly. Not a chance, and once again, Fanshawe is up by 10 runs, now 14-4, and Durham is going to have to score in the bottom of the 6th inning if they want to stay alive.
So we hear chicken and rice again.
Nolan
As
Rice up
is
to bat.
Strike 1.
And I believe the Durham Lords.
Strike 2. It looked a little outside, but the 0-2 count now.
The Durham Lords softball team just won 15-4 against St. Clair for their first game of the season. And that softball team just continues to win That's a fly ball into center field, and this will be an easy play for the final out of the inning.
Losing his hat, making the play. It's 14-4. The Lords will need a run in the 6th if they want to keep this game going into the 7th and final inning.
Yeah, last year that softball team went undefeated in the regular season and the playoffs, and so far that streak is still alive as they just beat the St. Clair Saints 15-4 in 7 innings. And they're also playing their second game in just about a few minutes. 3:15 is their first pitch. See if the Lords softball can start 2-0 very quickly as they're on the road. And we're just getting a few warm-up pitches before we are underway here again.
Because it's a new pitcher for Fanshawe, so.
I'll have to wait till we see his number again. Come on, turn around. No, it's still Owen Crowder.
Is it?
Yeah, he pitched in the last inning.
Just give him a couple of pitches to warm back up.
He's going to try and close this game without allowing a run, so we don't advance to the 7th inning. In the bottom of the 6th now, Fanshawe has been leading all game, now up 14-4, and it's just been Fanshawe's game the whole day, honestly.
Yep.
As Durham they've had flashes to answer, but just not enough to come back or really do much. Like that home run in the bottom of the 5th was great, but unfortunately, you're still down 9 runs.
Yeah.
We're underway here in the bottom of the 6th. As leading up will be Zach Rivers.
And he's got to throw the ball in the zone early here, probably this next pitch.
And that one just got spiked.
Yeah.
Quick 3-0 count.
His command early is looking a little rough. Can he reel it back in? That's a good pitch.
That's in there for a strike. Zach was taking all the way. And same location and called a strike.
Yeah, and I agree with that call.
Rivers.
It's been a consistent call of it being the strike zone being more to the right. So if it's going to be consistent, you got to keep it. And that was a little more outside. So I agree with that.
Too far to the right, and that's a walk for Rivers. He's on base. So good start here, and Ryan Mattis, the right fielder, will now try to advance Rivers. And keep this game alive. That one's too high. And there goes Rivers, and swing there, and that one's going to go into left field and go over his head for a base hit. Rivers is going to come home on this one. It goes all the way to the back of the wall, and the game is still alive, now 14-5. Rivers scores from all the way from first as Ryan Mattis has an RBI double. Drives in the 5th run of the game for the Lords.
That's good hitting right over the head of the left fielder. And if he's back a little bit more, he can make that play, but he set up shallow, and it goes over his head near the wall.
It was even better when Rivers was running right there originally because he got a good head start. And that one is swung on about the same location, and it's going to go in there for a base hit as well. But he will not try to score this time. It's a single for Evan Torres, and look who's up to bat again. Malik James, last at bat, drove in 3 runs with a 3-run shot.
So let's see if he can create some magic here with his bat.
That would be really crazy if he is able to hit a home run, for example. But there is still no outs with the runners on the corners here. That one's in there for a strike 1. And runner's going to second, but the ball is dropped by the catcher.
He's in there safely, and they just keep advancing. And I don't think Fanshawe's really worried about those runners, considering they're not like the tying or the winning run. If both those runners score, it's still an 14-8 game, and you trade the 3 outs for those 2 runs.
That one's outside, too low and outside.
It's 14-7, excuse me, if those 2 runs score. So if this inning ends and it's 14-7, Fanshaw's fine.
Right in there for strike 2. On deck is Tristan Delorier. Here comes the pitch. Outside for a full count. As you're going to see a challenge pitch here. He's not going to want to walk him. Load the bases with 0 outs. And that one is swung on really high. Fly ball to right field. Right fielder is calling it, catches it. Here comes the runner from third, and is in there for sacrifice fly. Throw to third, and it's safe. Just gets in there.
So a run scores, but they'll trade that for the out. 1 down in this bottom of the 6th.
So a sacrifice fly for Malik James. Next, coming up to bat now is Tristan Delorier. It's a 14-6 game now.
First base, number 13, Tristan Delorier.
It was a great throw to third, but just able to get in there behind the tag.
Just outside.
That one was right down the middle.
Pitch doesn't get much better than that.
One out here with the runner on third. That one gets behind the catcher, and here comes the runner from third, and he will score without a throw. Durham puts on another run here, 14-7.
So they get both runs and only 1 out in this inning.
Still looking to get some more as Delorier will now try to get on base. And just unfortunate defending there from Fanshawe, and just not able to grab it was the catcher. That one was absolutely smoked, and it almost just killed someone in the Fanshawe dugout. But they build those fences for a reason.
Yeah, I'd be scared if I was a manager.
That one is smoked to left center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Extra base hit. Delorier is going to go in there with a stand-up double. He's going to turn for third. Here comes the throw, and he turns back for second. And the throw gets away. And he'll slide in there.
Dangerous base running, but he gets in there safely with a double.
I think it was wise in the end to turn back. It was about halfway to the third base bag, but turns back just in time. Now there's a Delorier is on second with 1 out. And manager's back out to talk again. Thought he was about to kiss the umpire there. Quentin Earl is batting next, but he's Looks like he's making some sort of change. I'm not sure if it's a pinch runner, I believe. Number 9 will come onto the field for the Lords. It'll be Jonas Felix, will pinch run for Tristan Delorier.
Now batting second baseman number 24, Quentin Earl.
So Felix in for Delorier, pinch running, and Quentin Earl will now bat and try to drive in said runner. That's in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. He shows a bunt, and it's a good one right in front of the catcher. Throw to first is in time, but the runner does advance to third.
Yeah, you just got to get a little more on it if he wants that to work.
It looked like it was really slowly heading towards the catcher, but in fact, I hadn't moved at all. So that was a sacrifice. Now Eddie Borutsky will try and see if he can drive in Felix here. With 2 outs here, make this a 14-8 game. That one's outside for ball 1. That one's outside for ball 2. So since the Lords scored more runs, there's going to be more baguettes. I'm going to see if I can get one. I'm hungry. That is too low for ball 3. So early 3-0 count here. Threatening to walk. If he is walked, Ethan Service would be up next. That one's right down the middle. Feel like he should have swung at that one. So like I said, if Borutsky's able to get on base, Ethan Service is up next, and he does just that. A walk here.
And the Lords are just not going away here.
Nope. That's Crowder's second of the inning.
Like a homer here would bring it to a 4-run game. This is not over yet.
That would make things interesting.
It's Ethan Service up to bat for the Lords.
Service definitely has a lot of contact to bring the Lords back into this game. And oh my goodness, has to get out of the way of that one.
You know, hit on the face.
That would have been bad. That's the second time that Service has had to get out of the way of that.
He doesn't have the command right now.
2 quick balls here. And not looking the best. Start here for Crowder. And throw to first, gets away, and the runner's going to come in to score. Felix scores. And now the runner will go to second.
And little league errors, and it's 14-8.
As the Lords continue to climb back into this game. Throw to pickoff attempt at first was dropped, and then Felix just absolutely bolted and slid in. Home plate. As now, like you said, makes it a 14-8 game. And that one's inside again. Too close. And it's a 3-0 count again. On deck is Ryan McGivney, who plays outfielder, catcher, and is pitcher.
It's a good pitch. 3-2, full count.
Crowder has worked it to a full count here. Service trying to keep this little run going. They've scored 4 runs this half inning. And that is outside for ball 4. Great patience there. As the inning is still alive here. As up backs now is Ryan McGivney, another local born.
And batting catcher number 37, Ryan McGivney.
And the runners are both going here. Throw to second is not in time. It's also offline. A double steal here. Now there are 2 runners in scoring position. And like you said, if both these runners come in, you can make it a 4-run game. And even a home run will make it a 3-run game. That's a big swing and miss there.
It's 0-2 count
Strike 2.
now.
If he can get it, just at least get it to Zach Rivers, back at the top of the leadoff, I think it'll be good, even if he doesn't drive these runs in. That is too far outside for ball 1.
Tense moments in what looked like it was going to be a blowout. There were multiple times in this one that they could have been.
Stays alive there.
There could have been a mercy rule, but Durham has fought back. It's a 6-run game, 2nd and 3rd, with 2 outs in this bottom of the 6th.
You wonder how closer it would be if they didn't call in the last inning that check swing out. And that is tripped right to the shortstop. Throw to first is in time for the out. And Fanshawe gets out of it. But not unscathed, as Durham scores 4 times here and have definitely gotten closer. They're going to want to throw up a scoreless inning. They want to try and come back and at least tie it.
After 6 innings, Fanshawe leads 14-8.
So we are now entering the top of the 7th.
Thanks to another 4 runs by the Lords there. Make some noise as Lou comes around with more. Beggets.
Here comes Lou with the baguettes. There's Louie.
Change for the Lords, now playing first base, number 10, Matt Jones.
Doesn't look like we're going to get one today.
No, unfortunately. Will Clark will be back on the mound for the Lords. Going to want to try and not allow any runs. That would be best case scenario right here. And it looks like Louis came to visit us. Louis, can you get us a baguette? He's not even listening to me.
Louis he wants a baguette, Louis.
No.
No.
We're out.
No baguettes for us.
Nope. Not at all.
Louis doesn't say much, but he's a
No.
funny guy.
He's a funny guy. I wonder if he'll hop on the mic one day.
Yeah. It would be his first words, though.
He's too shy.
He's too shy, I think, yeah. But he is our knight in shining armor.
Yep. Back underway. Back underway here.
Last inning of play. Can Durham make something magical happen? They won, like we said, 2 years ago, 16-15 over Fanshawe. It would take something magical indeed. That's a good pitch.
Has to go through the heart of the lineup, though. 3, 4, and 5 due up as Marcus Normandin is up first. And start off with a 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. That is in there for strike 2. Clark needs a first out really quickly here. And that one is absolutely smoked outside the stadium for a foul ball. Hope you didn't park your car near here, Damon.
I did not.
Me neither.
That'd be a bad idea, especially with that Malik James home run.
There's a call, strike 3. It's Clark's first of the game. And a very important one. That's a quick first out. Too far outside to start this at bat. Fans have sticked around here till the 7th inning. And we appreciate whoever's still watching for you sticking around here. And we appreciate every support for watching us on OCAA and YouTube. Strike 1 was just called.
And there, that's a beautiful pitch. Strike 2. It's a nasty slider.
Clark's locked in right now. You see that slider again here.
Yeah, if it's pitching like that, he does throw it, and it's just a little high, just above the belt. I wonder if he goes back to it. The pitch looks really good right now.
That's a fastball, and he swings there. It will go right to the first baseman. Right under the Christmas tree there. A gift for the Lords. As that one was really far inside, and I think it got almost his hands when he swung. So now there are 2 outs here with the number 50 hitter, Aiden Chu.
Swing and a miss to start the at-bat.
Actually, excuse me, that's not Aiden Chu. It's number 14.
Is that number 14? It is.
That is Tyler Libby. I believe he was the pinch runner that came in for Chu earlier on. And he has a quick 0-2 count here to try and keep this inning alive. Here's the 0-2. Has to get out of the way of that one.
Takes his time. Getting back into the batter's box.
That one is chipped right to the foul, and umpire almost caught it, but the umpire commits an error.
Yeah, that would have been quite the play by the umpire.
Yeah.
I think we'll call that an infield hit.
Call it error. Be harsh. Come on, ump. Here's the 1-2. Wow, what a slider. Unfortunately, a ball. Here comes the 1-2. And check swing, but holds back. And the umpire calls it appeal and is safe. He's worked it to a full count now. That was really close. But he had the view.
Yep. So it's a 3-2 count now. Trying to get out of this inning without any hiccups.
Don't want to walk him. And that one is chipped just behind for a foul ball.
And I think you throw that same pitch.
Yeah.
He was late. He didn't connect with it really well. Throw that same pitch. I think you get him.
The two-out walk is always considered a big no-no, so hopefully it doesn't happen here. And that one is a high fly ball that goes foul and back out onto the road. And I think That definitely hit a car. I heard that.
Ooh, someone's gonna have a mean surprise when they walk out. At least it's not me.
Yep. I knew this a long time ago not to park anywhere near.
Another pitch.
Here's a full count. And that one is a high fly ball into left field.
It's playable.
And it is caught there for the final out of the inning. A great inning for the Lords and Will Clark. 1, 2, 3.
Durham have 3 outs to score 6 runs, or they will fall the Fanshawe and go 0-1 to start the year.
What approach do you go with here if you are
Just get
leading
on.
off for the Lords?
Any way you can. If you have to bunt to get on base, you've got to get on. You can't get out. If you get out, it just feels like this game is over. It's up to this leadoff batter to get on.
And Fanshawe has a new pitcher out there. Number 10, Caleb Sagan. So Lords will face a new pitcher. Coming out, and Sagan will look to close this game. And he'll face a dangerous, the 1-2-3 here. Zach Rivers leading off behind Ryan Mattis and Evan Torres at third. Just getting a couple more warm-ups in before we're underway again. And the Lords they need to not allow any outs to happen quick at all. If they do, if the first out is really quick, it's going to be really hard to even try to come back.
Yeah, but it's top of the order. Zach Rivers, you couldn't draw it up any better. This is the guy that can get on base for you and start a rally. Zach Rivers up, trying to get on base.
Here we go in bottom of the 7th inning, do or die. Big swing and miss there for strike one.
That's quite the pitch. That's gas.
This pitcher, Sagan, is obviously out here for a reason. He can throw that baseball. That one's too high for ball one. And not in there. If that was,
I thought that was right down the middle.
I thought it was like maybe not exactly down the middle, but it was
Yeah.
like higher. But I didn't think that was a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Rivers will take it though. That one is in there for strike two.
Yeah, that was more down the middle.
Like we said, we're on a hill, so it's harder to kind of tell. Here's the 2-2. Important pitch. Chipped foul, and Rivers stays alive.
This is a huge pitch. You don't want to get out.
And swing and miss. Strikeout there.
One down.
Not the start that the Lords were hoping for, and kind of gets just a groan from the home supporters. Ryan Mattis will try to start something up here. That one's in there for strike one. He's been calling that side all day. Have you noticed? You see, it looks like you're just not sure, like that left side.
What?
I'm saying, have you noticed that left side, kind of like the left side?
Yes.
It's kind of been like it looks really borderline. Sometimes they'll call it, but a lot of times Sometimes they don't, but a lot of times they do, and just doesn't really look like one.
Yeah, and it's forcing the hitters to now have to swing at a pitch that's outside the zone because the zone has been expanded a little bit to the left. But I've also found that to the right,
Now
it's a smaller zone, so it's like his zone is to the left a little bit. Which,
Yeah.
as long as it's consistent, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
And
which
it's been consistent.
It's been consistent, so I'm sure they're not arguing or anything like that on that part.
Just because the batters just move inside a little bit more. Doesn't get
Really
the call there.
close.
Wow. Right at the knees. So it's 2-2 now.
I think that was very borderline. We do not have robot umps, so we cannot tell which is a ball or strike, or we do not have an automated system.
Gets outside.
Not close for ball 3. Evan Torres is on deck, the designated hitter. Here comes the 3-2 pitch from Sagan. Just chipped foul, and he stays alive. Quite an at-bat here.
Three-two again. Trying to start a rally.
Do not want to get out here. And that one gets behind the catcher for ball 4. So Mattis is on with a walk. And they're still alive. Evan Torres now up to bat. Just saying, a home run would make this a 4-run game, which by then that's pretty close considering that they were down by 10,
They were down
11
12,
runs.
12
They
at
were down
one
by
point.
down by 12 runs at one point. I think they were down 11.
It was 13-1.
Yeah, yes, that's right. That's a big early swing and miss there.
Huge pitch, just a great pitch.
Do you see the Lords being aggressive here, maybe stealing?
There's really no point in stealing, though.
Oh, I know, but sometimes teams might want to get aggressive so they're in scoring position.
Yeah. I couldn't see it here. You don't want to run into an out, especially when you only have 2 left. It's a good take.
If it was a closer game, I'm not sure, but the Lords do need runs right now. Only 2 outs left to work with. That is a high pop-up in the center field range and is able to make the catch. And there's the second out. That one almost went out of our atmosphere. So they hold that runner at first, and next will be Malik James, who hit the 3-run bomb and kind of really sparked the Lords offense to kind of come back in this game, even though they are still down 6 runs, but it's a complete opposite being down 12.
Yeah, and their final out.
And that one is swung on high to right field,
Looks
and
playable.
this should do it as the catch has been made, and the Fanshawe Falcons win the opener here, 14-8, as the Durham Lords fall to 0-1 on the season.
Yeah, it was a good performance by Fanshawe, especially in those first 5 innings. They started to slow down. The top 5 is when they really started to slow down. And Durham came halfway to mounting a comeback. But Fanshawe go to 1-0. Durham 0-1.
Yeah, unfortunately, right at the very get-go, the Lords were kind of how do I say this? They were kind of handcuffed to they were down 7-0 in the second inning, not able to really do much after that, and just especially Hypo was really locked in early on. Later on, started to crack, and I feel like if that later offense that was kind of in the 5th, 6th inning, if that had been early on, this would be a different game.
Yep, I agree.
So, anyways, that is it here. The Durham Lords finished their home opener, unfortunately not winning, losing 14-8 They do, however, play tomorrow, a doubleheader against the Lambton Lions, and hopefully we'll be seeing you there. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching today on OCAA and YouTube, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Have a good day.